Perfect. Okay, let me start my timer now.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you very much. Pocket Money empowering differently banked community. Our mission is to move the credit score to another idea. A lot of fintech, with all the due respect, they got into the credit scoring concept with the wrong logic, because they apply financial institution standards to a system that doesn't work with those standards. So it's going to be very tricky to get more data, get more predictive algorithm. More AI is not going to solve the problem, our opinion. Why? Because they focus on providing access to credit, whereas for us, we make sure that the borrowers pay back, which bottom line is, if a person has 0 credit score, but they are willing to pay back and they have money to pay back, they will pay back. Whereas if someone, you have collected all the data that you want, but they don't want to pay back, they might not pay back anyway. So Raul and I have started, bootstrap the project. Raul runs a family office in Thailand. I've been doing entrepreneurship since I was 16, turning 42 this year. I lived in Africa. I lived in Singapore since 2006. I am Italian by birth. I lived in Europe, and I lived also in the Middle East, where I lived in Oman. We have a very diverse group spreading from Europe all the way to Africa, Russia, Thailand, India. The addressable market is quite big. It's 2 billion individuals, estimated at 1.5 trillion. We decided to start from Africa because it's easier to speak English over there, especially in Uganda, which is our pilot project. We noticed that the access is usually denied to credit to borrowers for lack of employment, no financial transaction history, no credit score, and no collaterals. So we launched an ecosystem where anyone can answer polls or complete micro tasks, earn micro rewards, and then play a game with us, which is buying back their rewards while we keep them into a virtual pocket in storage for them. So very simple. We get advertisers to post poll, surveys, advertising on Pocket Money ecosystem. We share the rewards with the users, and then when the users get to $100, we pay them to give us their rewards and display a badge on their profile. They can choose to buy back their rewards, and then we give them a gold medal, or not buying back their rewards, and then in that case, they monetize their data, as simple as that. The purpose is for them to learn in a non-threatening ecosystem how to return a loan, a micro loan, and at the same time having a safety net so they don't default automatically, and the amount of money that they are playing with is not that big. We launched a wallet to facilitate this transaction, which is blockchain based, and it has been downloaded in 86 countries, currently running on 10 currencies. We also have a pilot project with UnionPay to cash out from the wallet. And finally, the reward pilot has been successfully completed with 1,000 users in Uganda. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. So let's start our Q&A. Dear judges, any questions?
Hello, Stefano. Yeah, I've got a question. But how do you calculate credit score for a borrower? Do you collect and analyze data from social networks? Because there are like thousands of indicators.
We don't care about the credit score. We don't care about data. We do think that that's the wrong way of doing it. As I said at the beginning, the purpose of collecting data is that you are analyzing data. And with all the due respect to Tala and all these organizations that are collecting data, you're collecting data on their past. As just now the presenter said, there are going to be plenty of default coming up. You know what you get to read from the data is the past of that person. You can read 5 years of Facebook, and if they have interacted with 25 friends, then they have 9% higher likelihood to pay back. But eventually, if they are in emergency today, because they broke the bike today, they can't go to work today, then they ask for a loan today, not in the past. And so the data are always giving a picture that is not accurate, not current. Secondly, the credit score is completely meaningless. It's just, here in Singapore itself, they will tell you, hey, apply for 5 different credit cards and then pay back $1 every month on a $1 that you spent, and your credit score will fly. There are ways around credit score. Everyone has figured it out, from all the way from Botswana to Singapore. So credit score, in our opinion, is not so important, but gamifying the platform, keeping track of all these transactions. And bear in mind that a person to get to $100 worth of rewards have been with us for about 2 months. We got users that are using the platform for 8 hours in a row just to generate 30 cents at a time, get all the way to $100 and being able to be called credit worth. Whether the person wants to pay back or doesn't want to pay back, it ends up to will. Anyone can choose to go and rob a bank. But at least we give them an opportunity to risk taking the loan and then paying back if they want to pay back. And even if they don't pay back, we have monetized on their behalf. The $100 that they take, we have already taken it from advertisers. They don't want to pay back, fair enough. They can do again, they can earn the rewards, we get their data and they monetize the data. So I feel very much in line with the first presenter presentation, because we monetize the data, and the last presenter's presentation before May, because we are a layer in between lenders and borrowers, but without all that financial jargon that anyway the people that we are talking to, they don't understand. Some of them, they will never have a bank account. And just to put things in context, when I lived in Uganda, I was perfectly banked in Italy, in Singapore, and in Oman, but I decided not to have a bank account in Uganda. So I was unbanked. And very, very often in Africa or in emerging markets, being unbanked is a choice more than a necessity, because it's too costly and they can still transact using their cell phones. They don't need to have a bank account.
Thank you so much. So next question, please.
I've got a
Stefano,
question.
oh, sorry. Sorry, Stefano, I understand what you're trying to do, but how do you stop like children from coming in and just playing for hours and hours just to generate the $100? I'm trying to understand what's the main goal of your platform.
Sure. Well, the logic to, first of all, is a normal KYC platform. So in order to cash out, they have to validate their profile. If they are minors, simply they don't get the money. So even if a parent is creating an account for 3 different accounts, they are actually spreading the rewards on multiple accounts, which doesn't make much sense. The best way of doing it is just to be absolutely transparent, and also through the surveys and the polls, there will be some of them that are just not applicable to children. For instance, have you bought an insurance? This is one of the surveys that we have. In another pilot of information that we have with the Bank of Uganda, we are posting polls relative to their ability to save money, which obviously doesn't apply to children. So there are so many layers in between. To create an account, they have to have either a Facebook account or a LinkedIn account, which means that they already have declared the age, and so they can't have an account on Pocket. They can have an account of Pocket Money, but they can't earn the rewards. When they want to cash out, they have to KYC. When they answer the question, they have to be eligible within the category of age and gender and location that we define for the polls and the surveys. So children is not definitely something that's going to happen.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi,
So,
Stefano. I've got a question for you very quickly.
Awesome.
So why blockchain technology? What's the advantage? Because
So it's a private blockchain. We took it from Bitcoin and then privatized, remove all the voting system. It's just a ledger. The reason why we are using this blockchain for the wallet only, so not for the rewards. We have 2 products. One is the rewards ecosystem. The other one is the wallet. It's because from the rewards, we want to release the funds to anyone that wants to cash out. And so by doing it with blockchain, we are very fast at implementing as many currencies as we want. We already tested it with gold, Bitcoin, and then we remove it, we hide it from the current version that we find online, but we can pretty much add any currency or even make any currency at any point in time through our wallet. So it's for accountability purpose, which probably my stand on blockchain. I think is very valuable when you apply to financial ecosystem, very hard to implement into other industries successfully.